This is the last video about calves that you will ever need to watch. We will work our way through every single piece of information that you need to know to achieve gigantic calves. Training calves is a lot different than training any other body part. Other body parts have certain rules that you have to follow. And by the rules, I mean all the necessary movement patterns and the exercises that correspond with each one of those movement patterns. But for the calves, there are not really any rules that are set in stone, which means that there are not really any types of exercises that we could divide this into. No matter what exercise you will end up doing, it will always be some kind of calf raise variation. So there is no exercise that is quote-unquote the best for the calves, because all the exercises are basically the same, with a slightly different spin on it. Which means that you should pick the variation that you feel like works the best for you. The exercises that you can choose from are, for example, the standing calf raise, seated calf raise, machine calf raise, or you can even hit calves on the leg press or on the Smith machine. You know what they say, there is more than one way to skin a cat. You might feel some crazy mind-muscle connection on one of the exercises, but completely nothing on the other one. So just experiment with different variations and stick with the one that feels the best. Alright, now let's take a look at how many workouts and how many sets you should do per week, and also what kind of rep range you should use. For most of the people, 2 to 4 workouts per week should be more than enough. But if you are one of the folks who has calves that are not responding at all, then you can train them up to 6 times per week. I know that it might sound like an overkill, but if your calves are extremely stubborn, then you have no other option. Training calves is basically like playing whack-a-mole. You need to whack them as soon as they pop up. In other words, when you train calves on one day, and then you wake up on the next day, they are most likely ready to be trained again, because that's just how calves are. So you just gotta whack them over and over and over, and that's how you can force them to grow. But as always, work your way up slowly and listen to your body. Don't go from training calves 0 times per week to instantly training them 6 times per week, that would be just dumb. Now let's take a look at the number of sets per week. In each workout where you train calves, do at least 3 sets of the chosen exercise. But you don't have to stop there, you can easily go up to 5 sets per workout if you want to squeeze in some more volume. The overall number of sets per week directly corresponds with how many times per week you train your calves. So if you don't really care about calves that much, do at least 6 sets per week, which means 3 sets twice a week. That's the bare minimum. From this point, that number can exponentially increase based on how much you hate yourself. Oh, sorry, I meant to say based on how well your calves are responding to the training. Anyway, you can take a look at this professional graph that I made, and based on this you can just estimate where you fit in. Alright, now let me tell you about the rep ranges. For the calves, you should definitely use a higher rep range, that is non-negotiable. Don't even think about going below 15 reps, no. 15 reps is the minimum amount of reps in each set, you should only go up from there. The rep range that I would recommend is 15 to 30 reps in each set. But yes, it should be closer to 30 than to 15. I think that one of the questions you still have in mind is, where do I put calves in my workout? Well, there is a lot of options that you can choose from. The most common option is to just do them at the end of your workout. But we all know what happens when you put calves as the last exercise of your workout. Yep, most of the time you just skip them. Because it's just calves, right? Who cares? This is where the ultimate trick comes into play. If you are a notorious calf skipper or you just want to enhance the gains from your calf training, put them first in your workout. I know that it sounds weird, but it works. Putting them first will not negatively impact any of your other lifts. And when you train calves while you are still mentally present, then you can get more gains than if you did them last in the workout. You might be underestimating how important it is to be mentally present. Imagine that you did a hard leg day and at the end of it you still gotta do calves. At that point you don't even know where you are and you are just mindlessly moving up and down without getting any results. And that's because the technique is the most important thing that you need to pay attention to if you want to actually grow your calves. It won't matter if you train your calves 6 times per week. If your form is terrible, then your calves will never grow. That's just how it is. So listen up carefully so you can apply this technique in your next workout. I will demonstrate the proper technique on the standing calf raise, but it can be applied to any other calf exercise that you do, because as you learned here today, they are all basically the same. You will start by slowly lowering your heels and holding the bottom stretch for a second, and then you slowly go up. And when you hit the top position, hold the stretch again for a second or so. And you repeat this over and over. Pausing on the bottom and on the top of the rep is absolutely crucial. Yes, doing it like this will make the exercise a lot harder, but that's what you gotta do if you want to grow your calves. And also, if you decide to do any type of standing calf raise, always do it on an elevated surface. Never do it just on a flat ground, because you will completely miss the bottom stretch. You can use stairs, a big plate or anything else that will create an elevated surface that you can use. This is very important, so don't forget about it. What you should also keep in mind is short rest times between the sets. Calves don't need a lot of time to recover between the sets. You can just take 1 minute of rest between the sets and that will be more than enough. Not only that you will get more growth, but you will also get it done way quicker. Applying everything I just told you will for sure improve the size of your calves. But don't forget that genetics also play a huge role. Some people are gonna have it easier than the other ones, that's just life. I know that it feels terrible when you are really focused on getting your calves bigger and you see some random 50-year-old fat guy that has calves the size of your head. Yeah, he might have good genetics, but what also might be the case is that he has been overweight for most of his life. And do you know what happens when you are overweight for a long time but you still remain active? Yup, exactly. You get big calves just from walking. So you can take this as a lesson that you can also use, and you don't even have to be overweight for this. Just start walking more and your calves will improve. Stop using your car to go to places that you could have walked for a couple of minutes, because it all adds up. Remember, you are not doing it just for your calves, but also for your heart. Well, that's all you need to know about training calves. And because this is the last video of the body part series, I prepared a gift for you. I call it the bodybuilding cheat sheet. It will tell you everything you need to know in a matter of seconds. Which means number of sets per week, rep ranges and recommended exercises for each body part. And all of that on one sheet of paper that you can just print out or save on your phone and take with you anywhere that you go. And most importantly, it's free. You can get it using the link in the pinned comment. I know that it will be a game changer for a lot of you. So take it as a thank you for being such a great community. And if you want to learn more about bodybuilding, check out my website where I have tons of free resources prepared for you that will simplify your bodybuilding journey. So what are you waiting for? It's just that simple. And as always, a big thanks to all the supporters on my Patreon. Did you like this video? Then you will for sure like this one too.